Good morning, students. Welcome back to English class. So, we were in the lesson number 6 on the face of it, which is written by Susan Hill. So, we have seen that this is a story about a teenage boy, Terry, who has burnt face, and Mr. Lamb, who is disabled old man with an artificial leg made of tin. Terry accidentally enters his garden so that he can hide himself from people who hate him because of his ugly face. Mr. Lamb not only welcomes him in his garden but also encourages him to lead a normal life, leaving behind his past. So, let's continue from the lesson page number 65. Here it goes, 65. So, Mr. Lamb, they might not. You would have to take the risk. So, would they? Derry, no, you would. You might have me and lose all other friends because nobody wants to stay near me if they can help it. Mr. Lamb, I have not moved. Derry, no. Mr. Lamb, when I go down the street, the kids shout, "Lay me lamb." But they still come into the garden, into my house. It's a game. They are not afraid of me. Why should they be? Because I am not afraid of them. That's why not. Derry, did you get your leg blown off in the war? Mr. Lamb, certainly. Derry, how will you climb on a ladder and get crab apples down then? Mr. Lamb, oh, there's a lot of things I have learned to do and plenty of time for it. Yes, I take it steady. Derry, if you fell and broke your neck, you could lie on the grass and die. If you were on your own, Mr. Lamb, I could. Derry, you said I could help you. Mr. Lamb, if you want to. Derry, but my mother will want to know where I am. It's 3 miles home across the fields. I am 14, but they still want to know where I am. Mr. Lamb, people worry. Derry, people fuss. Mr. Lamb, go back and tell them. Derry, it's 3 miles. Mr. Lamb, it's fine evening. You have got legs. Derry, once I got home, they did never let me come back. Mr. Lamb, once you got home, Derry, you don't know what I could do. Mr. Lamb, no, only you know that, Derry, if I choose. Mr. Lamb, if you choose, I don't know everything, boy. I can't tell you what to do. So, first means what? Show off, anchor, or worry. So, here in this conversation, it says that Mr. Lamb replied that they might or might not run away, that he had to take a chance on that. Derry said that Mr. Lamb had to choose out of him and the other people as visitors because no one liked to remain near him. Mr. Lamb would lose all his friends if he had Derry in his garden. Mr. Lamb said that he was there and did not run away on seeing Derry. He added that when he went out on the street, kids teased him although they visited his garden and his house. It was like a game. They were not scared of him because he was not scared of them. Derry asked, did his leg get injured in the war? And Mr. Lamb replied that it did so. Dairy asked that how would he climb up the ladder to pluck the apples. He replied that there were lot of things that he had learned to do. Dairy added that if he climbed the tree alone, fell from it and broke his neck, he would lie on the grass and he would lie on the grass dead. Mr. Lamb said that it could happen. Dairy asked if he could help him pluck the apples. Mr. Lamb said that he could help him if he wanted to. Dairy said that his mother would be waiting for him. His home was 5 miles away across the fields. He was 14 years of age and but still he was supposed to tell her where he was. Mr. Lamb added that people had the habit of worrying. Dairy added that actually they were in the habit of fussing. Mr. Lamb, fussing means, as I said, that it's a anchor. Okay, fussing means what? It is a anchor. He actually, and what Dairy added that actually they were in the habit of fussing. Mr. Lamb asked Dairy to go home and inform his mother of his whereabouts. His house was 3 miles away. As the weather was fine and he had legs, he could easily go home, tell them and return. Dairy said that once he went home, he would not be allowed to return. Mr. Lamb added that once home, Dairy himself would not feel like coming back. Dairy said that Mr. Lamb did not know what all he could do. Mr. Lamb said that only Dairy knew what Dairy started to say that if he chose what was interrupted by Mr. Lamb. He said that Dairy had to choose and he could not tell him what to do. Let me explain this conversation again. First of all, Mr. Lamb replied that they might or might not run away and he had to take a chance on that. Dairy said that Mr. Lamb had to choose out of him the other people as visitors because no one liked to remain near him. Mr. Lamb would lose all his friends if he had Dairy in his garden. Mr. Lamb said that he was there and did not run away on seeing Dairy. He added that when he went out on the street, kids teased him although they visited his garden and his house. It was like a game. They were not scared of him because he was not scared of them. Dairy asked that did his leg get injured in the war, and Mr. Lamb replied that it did so. Dairy asked that how would he climb up the ladder to pluck the apples. He replied that there were lot of things that he had learned to do. Dairy added that if he climbed the tree alone, fell from it, broke his neck, he would lie on the grass dead. Mr. Lamb said that it could happen, and Dairy asked if he could help him pluck the apples. Dairy asked if he could help him if he wanted to. Dairy said that his mother would be waiting for him. His home was 5 miles away across the fields. He was 14 years of age, but still he was supposed to tell his mother where he was. Mr. Lamb added that people had the habit of worrying. Dairy added that they were asked Dairy to go home and inform his mother of his whereabouts. His house was 3 miles away. As the weather was fine and he had legs, he could easily go home and tell them and return. Dairy said that once he went home, he would not be allowed to return. Mr. Lamb added that once home, Dairy himself would not feel like coming back. Dairy said that Mr. Lamb did not know what all he could do. Mr. Lamb said that only Dairy knew what he could do. Dairy stated to say that if he chose but was interrupted by Mr. Lamb, he said that Dairy had to choose and he could not tell him what to do. So let's read the next conversation between Dairy and Mr. Lamb. Dairy, they tell me, Mr. Lamb, do you have to agree? Dairy, I do not know. I don't know what I want. I want something no one else has got or ever will have. Something just mine, like this garden. I don't know what it is. Mr. Lamb, you could find out. Dairy, how? Mr. Lamb, waiting, watching, listening, sitting here and going there. I will have to see to the bees. Dairy, those other people who come here, do they talk to you? Ask you things? Mr. Lamb, some do, some don't. I ask them. I like to learn. Dairy, I don't believe in them. I don't think anybody ever comes. You are here all by yourself and miserable, and no one would know if you were alive or dead, and nobody cares. Mr. Lamb, you think what you please. Dairy, all right then, tell me some of their names. Mr. Lamb, what are names? Tom, Dick or Harry? Getting up, I'm off down to the bees. Dairy, I think you are daft, crazy. Mr. Lamb, that's a good excuse. Dairy, what for? You don't talk sense. Mr. Lamb, good excuse not to come back. And you have got a burnt up face, and that's other people's excuse. Dairy, you are like the others. You like to say things like that. If you don't feel sorry for my face, you are frightened of it. And if you are not frightened, you think I am ugly as a devil. I am a devil, don't you? He shouts. Mr. Lamb does not reply. He has gone to his bees. Dairy very quietly says, no, you don't. I like it here. I'm going, but I'll come back. You see, you wait, I can run. I haven't got a tin leg. I'll be back. Dairy runs off. Silence. Sounds of the garden again. Mr. Lamb to himself. There are my dears. That's you seen too. Ha, you know all. We all know. I will come back. They never do. Though. Not them. Never do come back. Garden noises fade. Here says Dairy said that his family forced him to do things their way. Mr. Lamb said that it was Dairy's wish to agree with them or not. Dairy was confused about what he wanted, something that was only his and no one had it, like the garden. Mr. Lamb said that he could find out what he wanted. Dairy asked how could he do that. Mr. Lamb told him to wait, watch and listen. He added that he had to see the bees. Dairy asked that did the other visitors talk to Mr. Lamb. Mr. Lamb replied that some did while some didn't. Dairy said that he did not believe that someone ever visited the place. Mr. Lamb lived all alone by himself and no one cared for him. Mr. Lamb said that Dairy could think as he pleased. Dairy asked him the names of some of the visitors. Mr. Lamb said that the names were nothing. They could be like Tom, Dick or Harry. He left to see the bees. Dairy said that perhaps Mr. Lamb was mentally challenged. And Mr. Lamb said that was a good excuse for Dairy, but Dairy said that Mr. Lamb did not talk sense and that's why he said so. Mr. Lamb repeated that it was good excuse for not returning for the garden to the garden. Dairy face was burned, which was other people's excuse for not seeing Dairy. Dairy said that Mr. Lamb was like other people. If he was not sorry that his face was burnt, then maybe he was scared for it. If not that, then maybe he thought that Dairy was as ugly as a devil. He added that he was a devil. Dairy shouted. Mr. Lamb did not reply. He had gone to see the bees. Dairy became calm and said that Mr. Lamb did not think him to be a devil. He liked to be in the garden. Dairy got up and shouted that he was leaving and he would return to see him. He did not have a tin leg and could run and would be back soon. Dairy ran off. The place was silent with the sounds of the creatures of the garden. Mr. Lamb talked to the bees that they saw all that happened. They all knew that no one ever returned to the garden. Now, scene 2 at Dairy's house. Mother: you think I don't know about him. You think I haven't heard things. Dairy: you shouldn't believe all you hear. Mother: being told won't. You haven't lived here 3 months, but I know what there is to know, and you are not to go back there. Dairy: what are you afraid of? What do you think he is? An old man with tin leg, and he lives in a huge house without curtains and has a garden, and I want to be there and sit and listen to things. Listen and look. Mother: listen to what? Dairy: bees singing, him talking. Mother: and what he's got to say to you? Dairy: things that matter. Things nobody else has ever said. Things I want to think about. Mother: then you stay here and do your thinking, and you are best off here. So, this is a conversation. He reached home, Dairy reached home, and this is the conversation between Dairy and his mother. So, second scene starts here. Second scene is at Dairy's house, and Dairy is talking to his mother. Mother asked what did Dairy think of her. She had already heard of him. Mother asked what did Dairy think of him. She had already heard about Mr. Lamb. Dairy told her not to believe what others said, but she warned him that she knew what was required to be known about any person and therefore asked him to not to go back. Dairy asked her the reason of her fear. He told her that Mr. Lamb was just an old man with a tin leg and had a big house without curtains and a garden. He said that he wanted to go back and listen to things. His mother was curious to know what was it that he wanted to listen. He replied that he wanted to hear bees and singing and wanted to listen to what Mr. Lamb said. But she didn't find it suitable. And so she told him to stay at home and think about what he wanted to. Now next conversation. Dairy: I hate here. Mother: you can't help the things you say. I forgive you. It's bound to make you feel bad things and say them. I don't blame you. Dairy: it's not nothing to do with my face and what I look like. I don't care about that. And it isn't important. It's what I think and feel and what I want to see and find out and hear. And I'm going back there. only to help him with the crab apples, only to look at things and listen. But I am going. Mother, you will stop here. Jerry, oh no, because I don't go back. There, I will never go anywhere in this world again. The door slams. Jerry runs panting. And I want the world, I want. The sound of his panting fades. So here, Jerry said that he hated to remain at home. His mother excused him for speaking wrong because he felt bad and so spoke that way. Terry said that it had nothing to do with his face. The important thing was how he thought and what he saw or heard. He announced that he would go back into the garden to help Mr. Lamb with the crab apples. His mother tried to stop him and he ran away, shouting the door behind him. Now scene 3. Mr. Lamb garden sound, noise of branch shifting, apples thumping down, branch shifting again. Mr. Lamb, steady, that's got it, that's it. More apples fall and again, that's it. A creak, a crash, ladder falls back, Mr. Lamb with it. A thump, a branch swishes back. Creaks, then silence. Jerry opens the garden gate, still panting. Jerry, you see, I came back. You said I wouldn't, and they said, but I came back. I wanted. He stops, dead silence. Mr. Lamb, Mr. You have? He runs through the grass, stops, kneels. Mr. Lamb, that's all right. You fell. I am here, Mr. Lamb. It's all right. Silence. I came back. Lammy Lamb, I did come back. Jerry begins to weep. Steady. So here I show you the picture. So here creak means a harsh sound of wood. Steady means stable. Swish means what? Hissing sound. Panting means what? Quick breaths. Steady means stable. Creak, harsh sound of wood. Swish means here hissing sound. Panting, quick breaths. So here the third scene is in Mr. Lamb's garden. There were the sounds of branches. Mr. Lamb was talking to himself while he was plucking the apples. Suddenly a harsh sound of the cracking wood was heard and the ladder fell on the ground. Mr. Lamb fell too. Jerry opened the gate. He was still breathing rapidly and declared to Mr. Lamb that he had returned. He looked at him and tried to talk to him, but no one replied. Jerry kept on calling him by his name, suddenly started crying. He did so because he realized that Mr. Lamb was dead. So, this is the story about On the Face of It by Susan Hill. Let's do the recap of this lesson. So, this is the lesson On the Face of It, lesson number 6 from Vistas. So, written by Susan Hill. Susan Hill, an English author of fiction and non-fiction works. Her novels include Woman in Black and The Mist in the Mirror and I Am the King of the Castle, for which she received the Somerset Maugham Award in 1971. So this is a story about a teenage boy, Jerry, who has a burnt face, and Mr. Lamb, who is a disabled old man with an artificial leg made of tin. Jerry accidentally enters his garden so that he can hide himself from people who hate him because of his ugly face. Mr. Lamb not only welcomes him in his garden but also encourages him to lead a normal life, leaving behind his past. So story begins with a teenage boy entering a garden. His face is burnt on one side due to an accident when acid fell on half of his face. Yes. Of his face, he has gone to there to hide himself as he was afraid of facing people. He fears being teased by others for having such a face, but when he enters, he finds someone already present there. He tries to leave the place, but he is stopped by the old man, Mr. Lamb, the owner of the garden, without permission. Mr. Lamb welcomes him and tells him not to leave just because of his presence. Derry wants to leave as he thinks people don't like his face and moreover they get afraid of his looks. But Mr. Lamb insists him to stay there. They enter into the conversation that how Derry is not liked by anyone and how he hates people behaving like this with him. Mr. Lamb tries to console him and he tells him that he has a tin leg and kids make fun of him. Still, he is not depressed and enjoys his life. They both talk about various things and this leads to revelation of Derry's fear, depression and hatred about his being in such condition. But Mr. Lamb keeps on telling him to think of the positive things. Soon they become friends and Mr. Lamb asks him to help him in plucking the crab apples of his garden. Derry tells him that he had come too far from his home and hadn't told anything about this and to his mother. Mr. Lamb tells him to take permission from his mother. Derry finds it difficult and this leads to a small quarrel between both of them. At last, Derry tells him that he would come back after taking his mother's permission. His mother doesn't want him to go back but he comes back again to fulfill his promise. Meanwhile, Mr. Lamb climbs the ladder on his own to pluck the crab apples as he was sure that Derry would not return. He was disabled and was difficult for him to climb. Mr. Lamb falls from his ladder and dies. Derry, on the other hand, returns to the garden to help him. When he enters the garden, he sees Mr. Lamb lying on the ground. Derry tries too hard to make him move, but he did not get any response from him. Finally, he comes to know that he is dead and starts crying. So this is the summary of this lesson. I have told you about the summary. I have go through each paragraph of this lesson and explained you, and we have gone through the summary of this lesson also, and I told you about the author also. Now let's see what is the message of the play. This is a play and on the face of it, and the play deals with the sense of loss, a sense of isolation and how to overcome it. The actual pain caused by physical impairment is often much less than the sense of alienation felt by the person. The title, On the Face of It, is used to mean that something seems to be good, true, etc. So, what lesson do you learn from the story On the Face of It? So this lesson, On the Face of It, aptly depicts the loneliness and sense of alienation experienced by Derry and Mr. Lamb on account of disability. The actual pain and inconvenience caused by the disabilities is often much less than the sense of alienation felt by the disabled person. here. So the question can be asked that the play on the face of which focuses our attention on the physical pain and mental anguish of the anguish means the suffering of the person suffering from some physical impairment. The playwright Susan Hill presents the two leading characters, an old man and a small boy, having different sorts of disabilities. Old man has a tin leg. The other protagonist on the face of it, Derry, whose full name is Derek, is a boy of 14 with a badly burnt face on the of the accident that left him scarred. All he says is, I got acid all down that side of my face. It burnt it all away. And this Mr. Lamb is very considerate man, very kind man who has a positive view towards life, people and things. In spite of one leg, we cannot see any sign of circulation, loneliness, that disappointment and dejection in life. Kids call him Lammy Lamb, but he does not mind. Jerry's mother did not think very highly of Mr. Lamb and claimed to have heard not only good things about him, and she had been told and warned by people about Mr. Lamb. So the phrase you say on the face of it. We have seen that the name of the lesson is on the face. It is a phrase. When you are describing how something seems when it is first considered, in order to suggest that people's opinion may change when they know or think more about the subject. On the face of it, that seems to make sense. This is the dictionary word of this meaning is what? This is a phrase you say on the face of it when you are describing how things seem when it is first considered, in order to suggest that people's opinion may change when they know or more about the subject. So that's all from in this video. Until the next video, keep watching, keep practicing, and bye from me.